time to start getting ready for our winter soaps. So today I'm going to be making candy cane soap, but I'm trying something different. Nurture Soap now has a red trio blend. I've been using the Really Red mica for a long time. The only problem with the Really Red is it does bleed occasionally. They have a new trio out. Let's see. You mix equal parts of these three and it's supposed to give you a true red. So I mixed them up with some oils and we're going to see how this works. I got a teaspoon of each along with some titanium dioxide mixed with water. And we're going to go ahead and mix up our soap. Now I'm sorry, the problem with this area that the commercial area that I rent is it has a very loud furnace, and it is that time of year, so we're going to have to contend with that for a while. Hopefully I can get this done before it kicks on again. I'm soaping a little warmer today, but that's okay because I want my colors to be, you know, kind of separate. My oils right now are at 100 degrees and my lye water is at 106. I tend to, when doing an intricate swirl, really prefer, get my spoon out of there, I really prefer if I'm doing something intricate or I want a lot of working time to soap at room temperature, which is, you know, between 75 and 80 degrees. Ambient temperature usually. So I'm just making sure all the bubbles are out of my stick blender before I even start. I do have about 3 ounces of sodium lactate mixed in with my oils. And I'm going to just pour the lye down the stick blender, lye water. And I'm going to blend this just until it's emulsified. That's all I'm going to blend it because I am soaping at a warmer temperature. I don't want to overdo it here. So, first thing I'm going to do is split this batch in 2 buckets here. And that's the problem. I do such a great job not incorporating any bubbles when I make it, and then when I pour it into my buckets, that's usually when I get the most bubbles. But hopefully they'll work their way out. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not doing, you know, even layers or anything to where I have to worry about it being too exact. Now I'm using purely peppermint from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and looking at my notes from last year, it did not accelerate the batch at all. So hopefully I took good notes. And all I'm going to do is just mix this up with my spatula, try to knock some of them bubbles out. And again, bubbles, it's an aesthetic thing. It does not hurt your soap at all. I just really hate the way they look inside the soap. That's when you get like, it almost looks like little white specks, which is not to be confused with lye specks, which can actually be dangerous. But these little bubbles, let's see, let me grab a bar of soap and show you. This one is already wrapped, but if you can see, get as close as I can, right here, all them specks, that is actually air that got worked into the batter because I had a color and I was trying to change it, and I worked air into it. So that is what air bubbles do. Again, not a huge problem. It's an aesthetic thing and I really don't like it. So I try to avoid it. Hopefully by the time I mix my colorants in, I'll get those bubbles worked out. Okay, into this bucket, I'm going to add my red blend. Red seems to be one of those colors, even in bath bombs, it's really hard to get a true red. It's either a little on the pinky side or a little bit on the orangey side. So hopefully, let's see how this turns out. In the oil itself, it looked a little bricky. But it looks like it's going to blend into a nice red. Alright. And we're going to put our TD or titanium dioxide into that one. And give it a hand stir. Now again, we always stick blend our white, no matter what. Actually, I tend to stick blend all my colors just because it really seems to make them pop. But I just getting it mixed in a little bit by hand here. I'll give it a quick whiz with my stick blender, just a quick one, because I am soaping warm. I don't want to go crazy here. And next we're going to do our red. See how that blends up. This is our fragrance oil. Again, it's just purely peppermint by Wholesale Supplies Plus. Just give this a quick whiz just to make sure it's good and incorporated. And the same thing over here with our red. Alright, that's all. That's all we want to do. Now, if you've ever watched a soaping channel, you'll know that titanium dioxide does tend to thicken up soap batter quicker than your other colorants. I guess you could always overdo a colorant and thicken your batter. But I really kind of want this at a thick trace. I want my colors to really stand on their own. So I am going to, this is still a really nice moving fragrance. As far as that red goes, I guess it is really a true red. I mean, I don't like it as much as the really red blend or really red mica, but so far so good. We'll see how it holds up and if it bleeds. Alright, as this is sitting, this looks more like tomato soup to me, rather than like the candy red I was looking for. But I poured in another bucket about half white. I'm going to go down just one side with red, about halfway through. And then I'm going to just start in the center and start pouring. I have been using the titanium dioxide from Nurture Soap. I thought I'd give it a try. It's not as white as the Wholesale Supplies Plus. I got disenfranchised with Wholesale Supplies Plus because it takes a while to get my stuff from them, and they charge a shipping and handling fee, which, I'm sorry, but a separate charge just to package something up drives me kind of crazy. And I understand why they do it, because you have to pay somebody to package them orders. It's not like I don't understand, I just don't like paying it. I used to order a lot of stuff from them, but I found other suppliers. So, anyway, still have to do our other mold here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to take this red and pour it down the side. And start the center and pour. And maybe I just need to use more of that titanium dioxide, but too much, and then you just have soap on a stick, kind of. And nobody wants soap on a stick. The shipping thing, though, that's why I stopped ordering from Brambleberry too. I mean, I'm trying to run a business, and I mean, I suppose I could order stuff like way in advance, but when you gotta wait so long for them to even pack up your order, it's like, why is it taking so long? I know we're all spoiled by Amazon with 2-day shipping. I don't expect 2-day shipping for it to be at my house from Washington in 2 days. I really don't. But when you can't even manage to pack my order for a week, I don't know. That's just not, I don't like it. So instead of complaining about it, I mean, I'm saying it on my channel, but you know, I'm not going to complain to Brambleberry about it or anything. They've sent out surveys before, and I filled them out, told them what I didn't like, but I'll just spend my money elsewhere. It shouldn't take that long to ship out an order. If I waited that long to ship out orders, I would have no customers. So I just have some mica and oil here. Just going to do a drizzle on the top. Again, this is the red blend, which unfortunately has a pigment in there, which doesn't mix so well with oil, but it is what it is. This is just a little decoration for the top, so drizzle this on there and then swirl it in. What this does is not only does it texture the top, it also kind of helps you level out like maybe some low spots. I can continue to bang it on the ground, or bang it on my countertop. Alright, so we're going to let this sit until tomorrow, and then we'll give it a cut. You can already see kind of what the design turned out. Some bars will be more red, some will be more white. We're back to cut the peppermint candy soap, candy cane soap.